Hello. Hi, good evening, everybody. I am just giving it a few more minutes before I start. And I'm still trying to find my comment on Facebook, but I don't even know where that is. Ever so often, um, Facebook changes up the whole live stream. Hey, Nat. Facebook changes up the whole ever so often. Facebook changes up the whole look of the live stream dashboard. The last time I went live, I was able to view my comments. No, I can't, like, I'm scrolling up and down, and I'm not able to see the comments, and I really don't like that. So, um, I don't know what's up with Facebook. So um, yeah, I guess I'll figure it out. So good evening, everyone. Thank you for joining me. Um, Welcome once again. If you didn't join me on Saturday, Happy New Year! Happy New Year! Saturday was the first time I did a live stream for um, the first live stream for the year. So, just a few things before I start. Um, if you see me looking across uh, in either direction, left or right, just know that I usually live stream simultaneously both on Facebook and on Instagram. And so I am trying to, you know, uh, even though it's virtual, I am trying to give attention to each audience. All right. And then, of course, if you see me looking down, I am going to be looking down to see because I can't see my comments on the computer. I'm looking down on a phone to see if anybody made a comment or have a question so that I can answer them. All right, so beautiful. So this this evening uh, starts. I'll be this evening starts for me for us here at the People's Brand. I'll be going live for 4 nights a week for the next for the next 3 weeks, and I'll be basically speaking about challenges, you know, the purpose of the People's Brand, um, the challenges that new managers face, and so forth and so on, and just introduce a few training topics around mindset, around challenges and opportunities that new managers have. So that's it, really. The replays will be available. So if you're catching me on the replay, um, and if you have a question, I will certainly get back to you, or you can feel free to send me a DM. So this evening, the intention is to really introduce you to the People's Brand. And so some of you may have heard the story of the People's Brand, but I want to take a little different direction this evening and just kind of share with you a few things around that. So, um, Again, my name is Waveney, and I'm the founder of the and CEO of the People's Brand. And the People's Brand, what I do at the People's Brand is I help new managers develop leadership influence by mastering their relationships at work. I know it's a mouthful, so I'll say it again. So I help new managers develop leadership influence by mastering their relationships at work and leveraging their communication style. And so I'll get more into it, but I want to just share with you that I am based on a Caribbean island, the island, a beautiful, beautiful island called St. Kitts, and it's a part of a federation. All right. And so People's Brand was born out of a need. And if you had the opportunity to see today's post that I made, I gave a quote there. I said, when you see a problem, you don't invest your energy in speaking about the problem, right? You invest your energy in solving the problem. So many of us, or so many people, they get all caught up in what the issue is. And even, you know, those of us who are, we consider ourselves to be maybe mature or experienced, sometimes it's so easy to get caught up in what the problem is because we are so passionate or we feel very strongly about a particular topic and we get so caught up in what the problem is as opposed to doing something about it. And this is a tip for persons who want to be managers or who are already in management is that you should be solution oriented, right? Seek to be solution oriented. I'm going to turn my AC off because it is killing me. It's freezing. Hi, Ali. Um, so tip tip number one is to be solution oriented. Okay, there's nothing more of a turn off than when you have someone coming to you always with an issue, but they're never providing uh, a solution. They're never telling you, what, sharing their thoughts and feelings around that. And so always seek to be uh, solution oriented. And so for me, I saw a need in my federation, in my island. I am currently my day job, my background really is I am a human resource professional. I've been in HR for about um, over 13 years. My background is hospitality, which I absolutely love. So I'm a hospitality professional. And so I've worked in the industry for quite a while, and I've worked in HR. I worked in events. I went back into HR. I've done training, right? I have, I have extensive experience in that field, and I feel very strongly and very passionate about it. And so I've worked for two major international companies. I used to work for Marriott, uh, and I used to, well, three really, maybe two, well, international companies. I don't know if the third one is major. And I'm saying that because it's a manufacturing company. I took a break from hospitality and I went into manufacturing in HR. Thank you, Allison. So Allison is saying the best HR partner I've worked with. And I've learned so much from Allison as well, right? And you really need to have people like that in your corner. You really need to have people who call you out on your BS. You really need to have people who also champion you and who see the greatness in you. And Allison has done that for me. Thank you so much. And this is what I want. This is what I'm bringing to the people's brand, right? a champion, a support system for new managers. But let me get back to a little bit about my history. So I've worked for Marriott International. I worked for a manufacturing company called Porter's Cap, right? And then I went back into hospitality, and I am currently working at the Hyatt, the Park Hyatt, and I am the director of human resources there. So there, I have the experience, I have the expertise, um, all things HR. And so I saw a need, and the need was when you live in a small community, sometimes there are not enough resources, right? And so we were actually opening the Hyatt, and there were many people coming through, right, pre-opening for interviews, and I realized that they had, hi, they had so much potential, right? It's amazing that sometimes we can't see our own greatness, right? We can't see our own light. And I would spend the time coaching them, like a quick coaching session. I'd be like, okay, you have to smile. You can't you say you can't ask, you can't say that response. You ask this question, do this, do that. And I've always wanted to start. I've always wanted to have my own business. I just couldn't see at the time how I could take the HR skill. And looking back now, it's so funny that I couldn't see it, but I really couldn't see the path forward. And so, with the help of a great friend, I launched the People's Brand, and I focused for the first couple months on getting people ready, like interview prep for interviews, right? And during that time, I didn't just want to do interview prep. I also wanted to do coaching because I have a training background, right? And so I wanted to do that. I don't want to be in training full time, but I wanted to do some hybrid of that. And coaching does that for you. All right? Because when you coach people, you provide a resource, you champion them, you're a support system, you help them. And coaching provided that avenue for me. It is a passion. I love to see people grow and develop. I love sharing resources. And so now I've decided to monetize that into the people's brand. And it's evolving, right? Before you ask, I don't do interview prep anymore one on one. I'm not sure if I'm gonna go back to that. I only do it within my coaching program as a bonus to the clients who I work with in there. All right. So that's a little bit about my background. And so what I discovered during that time when I was doing interview prep, there were people reaching out to me, you know, asking questions, wanting help with their careers, wanting help with goal setting. They had seen the company, and they they wanted help with that. And so I started helping people with their goal setting, networking, trying to figure out what it is they really want to do. They had jobs, but they wanted to figure out what is it do I really want to do, right? Because sometimes we could be in jobs that are not fulfilling that need, right? And so, hey, Skylar. And so I helped with that. What I then did was I sort of created a structure around the people's brand to help uh, managers. And the reasons why I help managers, have you ever heard this quote? It says, people don't leave companies, they leave managers, they leave bad managers, actually, right? And it is the truth. A lot of the times when I'm sitting in HR and someone decides that they're going to resign, it's usually because they're frustrated with a manager uh, or a particular manager. If they're either leaving, or if I'm sitting in an interview and I said, well, let me know, tell me, why do you want to work here? What is your interest? And I have a knack, not being boastful, but I have a knack of people opening up to me. And so lots of the times I would get all these stories about managers who were just people who were just bad managers. And I'm of these are just my notes. I'm of the belief that people don't start off being, I don't think people start off being bad managers. I don't think that someone goes into management with the intention of just being, you know, nasty or mean or whatever it is, right? I think that a lot of it is fear, okay? It is fear. A lot of it is they don't know what they don't know. And it's about training and development. Like nobody has ever shown them how to be a great leader. And I want to say here the reason why I use the word leader and I talk about influential leadership, like if you go on my page, you scroll through my posts, you'll see me speaking about influential leadership. And for me, the difference between a manager and a leader is a manager manages, delegates, operates, organizing, prioritizes, people, things, and tasks. But leaders are visionary. They are very proactive. They don't wait for people to tell them stuff. They foresee an issue or and they deal with it. They either bring it to the forefront with a solution, and they're very solution oriented, right? Leaders also, they are champions of change. And in the workforce, people don't like change. We don't like change, right? Um, and it's not just the workforce, even in our personal lives, we don't like change, but change is necessary, right? For growth. And, you know, sometimes change is good, and sometimes we think it's good, and sometimes it falls apart, especially if you're in an organization. But that's how businesses evolve, right? If you don't try stuff, you'll never know if it works or not. But most people are resistant to change. So for me, a leader is more of a visionary. They're courageous, they're champions of change, they take action. And when I think about it, even though the title says manager, what we really need in our workplaces are leaders, right? Even more than ever now. We need people who are courageous. We need people who take action in spite of. We need people who are visionaries who, when they're given a task, they can see 10 steps, 5 steps ahead, right? And so that is what is needed today. And even if you are not right now, if you're even if you're not in a management role, even if you're not new to management, maybe 18, let's say 18 to 20, well, 0 to 24 months, it right? I would say new, right? If you're somebody who wants to be a manager, if you are maybe leading your church, your leader in your church group, okay, or a leader in a nonprofit, um, the people's brand, you will find something here that will be able to help you. And so you need to be all those things, right? So let me share with you, I want to share with you a few statistics. If what I'm saying makes sense, drop an emoji in the comments right now. Let me know that you are still there and that you are listening. So, a few statistics that I wanted to share with you on people who are new in their roles in management. So 60% of new managers fail within the first 18 to 24 months. Okay, they fail. They don't get results. They want to quit um, for whatever reason. Okay, and it could be a variety of reasons, but they fail within the those few months. People who are in management, they're usually people who are high performing. If you think about it, you don't promote somebody, nobody gets promoted because they're weak, because they don't know what they're doing. They got promoted and you got promoted because you were competent in what you were doing. Okay. You're competent in what you're doing, and someone saw greatness in you, someone saw potential in you. You were most likely going above and beyond, and you were, promoted into that role. Okay. Or you were, you got the job in that company. So most people are usually high performing. And at the People's Brand, I don't serve any and anybody. I am not for everyone. And I am happy to say that. I serve people who are driven and ambitious. If you come into my coaching program, which we'll speak about later on down the road, you are expected to do the work. Okay, I'm not going to do the work for you. I will be your biggest cheerleader, champion, support, resource guide, all that great stuff, but I'm not going to do the work for you. You have to invest in yourself. And so the people, the clients that come into the People's Brand, they're high performing, they're driven, and they're ambitious. Okay, and they want to win and they want to leave a legacy and they want to make a difference. So let me check Facebook. Okay. So they're usually high performing. And here are a few more statistics. 57% of them don't give clear direction. So 50%, 57% of new managers, they don't give the team clear direction. Okay. They get into the role and they're not clear with the team. People don't know what to do. Then you have 51% don't communicate with their subordinates. There are a lot of people that get into management and they think that they have arrived, to use my mother's terminology. They have arrived. They have reached the pinnacle. You know, they have they got there and that's it. What people don't tell you is when you get into a management role, the work has begun. It is not about you. When I got into management, nobody ever taught me these things. Okay. And this is why, again, the People's Brand is here. I want you to win. I want leaders to win. There's nothing more than I don't want to use the word hate because it's a strong word, but I don't like managers that are not good managers or are even trying to be the best at what they do. It's not about you when you get into that role, and lots of people get into a management position and they have the same mindset and the same way of operating as if they were in their old position, right? And Marshall Goldsmith says, what got you here won't get you there, right? You got to that point because you were competent, you were displaying certain skills, you went above and beyond. But if you're now in a leadership role, if you're now in a management role, there's some things that you need to work on. And so 51% don't communicate with their subordinates. Okay, they don't tell them anything, right? Whether out of fear, whether they don't know, or what have you. 39% of them don't give constructive feedback. And I can tell you right now, um, this is an area that I've seen time and time again that people don't like to give feedback. They will let an issue slide. They would let people get away with whatever and make it worse if it's someone on the team that is a very that's a strong performer that they could depend on, but they may not be able to get along with the team, and because they're really good at what they do, you can, yeah, they're a great person. No, they're not. They're not gelling with the team. They think it's about them, and you need to give them that feedback. But managers don't give that feedback. And if you're a new manager and you don't have the support and you don't have the resources, then you're just not going to do it. Or if you do give that feedback, you're going to come across as aggressive. You're going to come across as what is this word? and may come across as unprofessional because some people, if you don't understand your role, if you don't understand what you're supposed to be doing, you're going to say things, just willy nilly, just like that, right? And when you're giving constructive feedback, um, you have to also factor in the other person, right? There's an objective, there's a goal, there's a reason why you're doing that. You just can't, you know, tell people what you want to tell them, right? And so that is another statistic. And a last statistic I want to share with you is 63% don't recognize achievement. And this is a big one. People at any age and at any stage in life, they want to be recognized. They want to be rewarded, but they want to be recognized. There's so many leaders out there that, and if you are a new manager and you're still stuck in the mindset of the past or the mindset of a non-manage n- like a non-manager, sorry, I mean over here making up words, right? um you are going to uh something may be happening, your team may have worked on a project, they are successful, they win, and you just you've gotten the credit. Somebody says great job, your general manager, whomever, your country manager, and you just take the credit. And there are people on the team that worked on this project and you're not giving them that. And so you need to recognize people's achievements. And sometimes these things happen deliberately and sometimes they don't. Overall, I am here to help you with that because what you need to focus on are relationships and communication when you are new in your role, relationships and communication. Of course, your competence too, because you have to learn the role. But lots of the times, people get caught up in learning the job, and I'm not discrediting learning the job or um, not putting any stock on that. That's great. But lots of the times people focus on that. Oh, I don't know how to use this system, or I don't know how to do this report. And these are things, yes, you should know how to do. But sometimes in the grand scheme of things, do you really need to focus on that right at this moment? Maybe not, right? And so these are the types of things new managers face. Okay, they get into a situation and they don't have the support, they don't have the resources, and in turn, they are making someone else, usually somebody else is on their team, uncomfortable, or they're not getting along with their peers, the people in the other departments. And I can tell you right now, relationships you need to manage. This is a free tip, and I mean, I've been saying this, you need to work on your relationships. Okay, you can't just go on your title. It only takes you so far. It only takes you so far. And you see, this pandemic has stirred the pot. It has stirred the pot because mental health was important all along, but even now more so with COVID, the pandemic, people can't come to work because they don't have anybody to hold their child, ailing parents, people who are sick. All this COVID has highlighted so many different things, and companies are now, putting a focus on mental health and the way you do things and how you communicate change and all that. And if you are to be successful in your role, you're going to need help, you're going to need guidance. And this is really what big picture, what the people's brand is about. It's a coaching company. We're a coaching company that helps new managers develop leadership influence by mastering their relationships at work and leveraging their communication skills. All right. And so that is what I wanted to share with you. I wanted to give just a little bit of a history. Hey, um, Carrie. I wanted to give you a little bit of a history of the People's Brand. I wanted to tell you my purpose. I wanted you to, just to get a little bit of a feel for the work I am doing here. And let me see, I am checking my notes to see if I forgot anything. And I don't think I did, but this is really it, right? So, again, if you're just joining in, I'm going to be here for the next 3 nights up until Thursday, and I'll be talking on various topics um, pertaining to leadership because new managers, you're at risk. You're at risk and you need help, whether you know it or not. And you probably, if you're in the role for maybe a few months, you probably start to feel uneasy, unsure, not confident. And so, no worries, help is on the way. I am here to help you. And that is it. Now, if you have any questions, before I jump off this live stream, what I've done is I have a free guide. Okay, I have a free guide that is called 6 Steps on Becoming an Influential Leader. And so I want you to go. I think if you're on Facebook, there should be a link showing somewhere, or you could go on the About section of I know Instagram more than Facebook, sorry. That's why I'm pausing like that. um, you can go on the About section and you should be able to go to my website and it says become a better leader, then you can click on that and it'll um, ask you for your email address and it'll send you the guide. If you're on Instagram, then you can just go to my bio. It says 6 steps on becoming an influential leader, and you can click on that, put in your information, and you get that. And so I wanted to share that free resource that I have along with the content that I have on my people brand page. It's just a quick snapshot of 6 things that you can focus on to become an influential leader, leave a legacy, make a difference, and it'll help you feel more secure in what you're doing. All right. And so thank you for joining me. I'll see you tomorrow. I'll be here up until Thursday, every night up until Thursday. Um, and I'll start at 7 p.m. All right. And so have a great evening and thank you for joining me. Bye.